Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let's get started with our Bhakti Vaibhava study of Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam. Let us begin with our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा य आहवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दम् नेत्रे पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामम् पार्थास्त्रपुत्तः पदमापुरस्य. अहो बकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिघ्रांसयापाय यदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं धात्र्युचितां ततोऽन्यं कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम. अशेषसङ्क्लेशशमं विधत्ते गुणानुवाद श्रवणं मुरारे किं वा पुनस्तच्चरणारविन्द परागसेवारतिरात्मलब्धा. सोऽहं नृणां शुल्लसुखाय दुःखं महद्गतानां विरमाय तस्य प्रवर्तये भागवतं पुराणं यदाह साक्षात् भगवान् ऋषभ्य. त्वद्भक्तियोगपरिभावितरित्सरोज आस्ये श्रुतेक्षितपथो ननु नाथ पुंसाम् यद्यद्धियात उरुगाय विभावयन्ति तत्तद्वपु प्रणयसे सदनुग्रहाय. सोऽसाव अदभ्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृद्ध प्रेमस्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहं विजिह्वम् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादम् माध्व्यागिरा पनयतात् पुरुषः पुराणः. ससर्जाग्रन्थतामिस्रम् अथ तामिस्रमादिकृत् महामोहं च मोहं च तमश्चाज्ञान वृत्तयः. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, today we are going to begin the second chapter of the third canto of Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam. This chapter is entitled Remembrance of Lord Krishna. In the previous chapter, the first chapter of the third canto, entitled Questions by Mahatma Vidur, we saw how Vidurji met Uddhavji on the banks of Yamuna. And Vidur, who had been traveling on a pilgrimage for many years, after seeing Sri Uddhavji, he felt great happiness and started asking him various questions about the welfare of many of the Yadus and many of the uh, Kauravas. Kauravas means it includes Pandavas also. Hmm. After asking about the welfare of everyone, in the final verses, Mahatma Vidur asked Sri Uddhavji about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and requested him to speak the glories of Krishna. Yes, Shama Kishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I thought Vidur asked these questions to Maitreya Muni. Did he ask them?
Not yet. Not yet. He's asking them to Uddhavji, and now later on, Uddhavji will tell him that for more details, please go to Maitreya Muni, who is nearby. He is elder to me, and when Krishna was instructing me on all these topics, Maitreya Muni also was listening. So he's equally learned. You please ask him. Then Uddhavji will go to Naimisharanya, will go to Badrikashram, and our Vidurji will go to Maitreya Muni, and then Maitreya Muni will speak to him. That will come in the later chapters.
But Prabhuji, chapter 1, text 1 says Vidur asked this question of His Grace Maitreya Rishi.
No, he's asking Uddhav. Let me see.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shukdev Goswami, after renouncing his prosperous home, entering the forest, King Vidur, the great devotee, asked this question of His Grace Maitreya Rishi. What else is there to say about the residential house of the Pandava, Shri Krishna? Shri Rajovacha. So, in the beginning, Shukdev Goswami wants to tell what questions Vidurji asked Maitreya Muni. Shukdev Goswami wants to tell. The first verse is spoken by Shukdev Goswami. But then Maharaj Parikshit interrupts and says, where did this meeting take place? Kindly describe. So then our Shukdev Goswami starts saying that Vidurji, when he was traveling, he met Uddhavji and asked all these questions to Uddhav. Now, Uddhav will give some answers, but he will say, for more details, you go to Maitreya. Then Vidur will go to Maitreya, and then Shukdev Goswami will continue from there.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So these questions were asked to Uddhavji. So now let us start from chapter number 2. This chapter is entitled Remembrance of Lord Krishna. Text 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Bhagavata Prishtha Chhatravartam Priyashrayam Prativaktum Nachotseha Autkanthyat Smariteshwaraha. Translations and purports by our most beloved founder Acharya Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Shri Srimad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation of verse 1. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, when the great devotee Uddhavji was asked by Mahatma Vidur to speak on the messages of the dearest Lord, Shri Krishna, Priyashrayam. the dearest Krishna. What happened? Uddhav was unable to answer immediately. Prativaktum na chotseha. Even though he was very eager, he could not answer immediately because of outkanthya smariteshwara. With great utkantha, he remembered Smarita. He remembered his Ishwar, Krishna. And because of that, even though there was so much utkantha, there was so much eagerness, anxiety, and there was also utseh, there was so much eagerness also, but he could not answer immediately because he remembered his Lord. And by remembering Krishna, Uddhav went into ecstasy. So when Mahatma Vidur asked Sadbhakta Chudamani Uddhav about Krishna, because the last verse in the previous chapter was, please tell me the glories of Krishna. Then Uddhav could not speak immediately because of ecstasy. Text 2. Yah panchahayano matra pratar ashaya yachitah tannai chad rachayan yasya saparyam balalilaya. Shri Shukdev Goswami is giving description of Shri Uddhav. Uddhav was one who even in his childhood, Pancha Hayana, when he was a child, 5-year-old, he was so absorbed in the service of Lord Krishna that when he was called by his mother for morning breakfast, he did not wish to have breakfast because Rachayan Krishnasya Saparyam Balalilaya. He was playing Krishna conscious games. Uddhav. He was playing Krishna conscious games. And he was not even interested in nice food. Even as a 5-year-old child, Uddhav was so absorbed. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Please listen very carefully. From his very birth, Shri Uddhav was a natural devotee of Lord Krishna or a Nitya Siddha, a liberated soul. So liberated soul, my dear friends, is completely Krishna conscious even from childhood. He used to play with dolls in the form of Krishna. He would serve the Krishna dolls by dressing, feeding, and worshipping them. And thus Uddhav was constantly absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada says further, these are the signs of an eternally liberated soul. An eternally liberated soul is a devotee of the Lord who never forgets Krishna. So this is the sign of a Nitya Siddha. From their childhood, they are Krishna conscious. Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Like our Prabhupada, Srila Abhay Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Born in the family of pure devotees and completely Krishna conscious from childhood. So this is how you recognize a Nitya Siddha Bhakta. They are always Krishna conscious. They never forget Krishna. They are very rare. So therefore, those who are initiated disciples of Srila Prabhupada's, they are very fortunate. They are very fortunate. Because Nitya Siddhas, even in our parampara, in any parampara, they are very rare. So we are very fortunate we have among us His Grace, Shri Shamik Rishi Prabhu. Shri Shamik Rishi Prabhu, he is an initiated disciple of Srila Prabhupada's, very senior Vaishnava, one of our Gurujans. and to have darshan of a Nitya Siddha Bhakta, to receive initiation from a Nitya Siddha Bhakta, to receive a spiritual name from a Nitya Siddha Bhakta, to receive tulsi beads to chant on from the lotus hands of a Nitya Siddha Bhakta is the greatest fortune one can receive. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कौन भाग्यवान जीव, Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata beach. And yet our Shami Krishi Prabhu is giving us darshan. Thank you, Prabhuji. We are very, very grateful to you for giving us your association, your darshan. Very, very grateful to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's a very sweet classes, very detailed, very elaborate, and it touches our heart. So I like to attend whenever possible.
Hare Krishna.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, Prabhupada gives the signs, symptoms of a Nitya Siddha Bhakta here. Now, Prabhupada says, in a good family of devotees, the child gets the opportunity to serve Krishna in many ways. When one takes birth in a very pious family, one gets many opportunities for devotional service. Many opportunities. And Prabhupada says this is confirmed in Sri Bhagavad Gita 6.41. Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrashto Vijayate. That those who are yoga bhrashta, they practice the path of yoga, but they are not able to achieve perfection in this life, then they will get birth in a very pure family where they will continue their Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says further down, Maharaj Parikshit also used to play with Krishna dolls in his childhood. And in India, the children in good families are still given dolls of Ram and Krishna to play with. So we should also give our children, if possible, Krishna conscious games to play. And that will create good samskars in them. By the grace, last sentence of the purport, by the grace of Lord Krishna, Prabhupada says, we were given the same opportunity by our parents. And the beginning of our life was based on this principle. Srila Prabhupada also used to have Jagannath Rath Yatra. Srila Prabhupada was given his own Radha Govinda deities to worship. So this is the sign of a Nitya Siddha Bhakta. They never forget Krishna. Text 3. Sakatham sevaya tasya kalena jarasamgatah prishto vartam prati bruyad bhartu padav anusmaran. Here Bhartu refers to Krishna, the Master, the Lord. Just like Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayor Dasa Dasa Anudas. Translation. Shri Uddhav ji thus served Lord Krishna continually from childhood, and in his old age that attitude of service never slackened. As soon as he was asked about the message of Lord Krishna, he at once remembered all about Lord Krishna. My dear friends, this purport that we are going to read now, purport to verse number 3, is very sweet and very important. So I want all of you to look at your Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll read together. It's very, very important, beautiful purport. So what Sri Shukdev Goswami is saying is Uddhav was a great devotee. As soon as he was asked about Krishna by Vidurji, he went into ecstasy. He became overwhelmed. He could not speak immediately. He intensely was remembering Krishna. And from his childhood, he was very Krishna conscious. Even as a child, he would play with Krishna dolls. He would not even care about food when his mother would call him. Purport. Transcendental service to Lord Krishna is not mundane. Means Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Seva is not something prakrit. It's not something material. It's not something mundane. The service attitude of the devotee gradually increases and never becomes slackened. Materially speaking, as we become old, we retire. Materially speaking. But spiritually speaking, our Krishna conscious activity should increase as we age. So if with every passing years, the number of rounds we chant, Harikatha, hearing, reading Shastra, Vaishnava Seva, Sadhu Sang, if this is not, or Puja Archana, if this is not increasing with all the passing years, that means we are not practicing Krishna consciousness properly. If avyartha kalatvam, humility, dainyata, these qualities are not increasing, then we are really not properly situated in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is saying the service attitude of the devotee increases, never becomes slackened. Generally, in old age, a person is allowed retirement from mundane service. From our career, we are allowed retirement. In India, the retirement age is 60 years. In America, maybe 65 years. That's when Medicare kicks in and Social Security starts. So 65 is the retirement age. No, no, this Social Security starts from 60, 59, something like that. So yeah, 60 to 65 is the retirement age. So Prabhupada is saying, in old age, retirement is allowed from mundane service. From our materialistic position, we can retire. But in the transcendental service of Lord Krishna, there is no retirement at all. On the contrary, the service attitude increases more and more with the progress of age. As we become older, our devotional activities should increase. This is for all of us. In the transcendental service, means in bhakti, there is no satiation. If we are good devotees, we will have a lot of satisfaction. See, when we do puja seva nicely to our deities at home, we feel satisfied. Okay, today Ekadashi, I gave them nice abhishek, I did nice shringar, nice new clothes, I changed their clothes. I'm feeling happy. I cooked nicely. 2-3 hours I was cooking and I offered nice bhoga for Krishna. We feel happy. If we do some nice Vaishnava seva, we feel satisfied. So I am good. So there is a lot of satisfaction and peace in Krishna consciousness. But there is no satiation. Satiation means a feeling of abhi bas ho gaya. Now enough. That is called satiation. So there is satisfaction in Krishna consciousness, but there is no satiation. Prabhupada is saying here. In the transcendental service, there is no satiation. The sweetest rasgulla you eat, after 2-3 rasgullas, you feel, okay, full now, no more. But in Krishna consciousness, when we are advanced, that will never happen. That will never happen. One sadhu in Vrindavan was saying, आपको जपमाला में हाथ डालने को समय नहीं है और हमें जपमाला से हाथ बाहर निकालने को समय नहीं है. He lives at Pilipokhar, Barsana. Shri Pujya Shri Vinod Bihari Baba does only Krishna Radharani knows how many rounds he chants every day, but he's 2 a.m. to at least 2 p.m. He's sitting on one asana and chanting with no break every day. And then he does Barsana Parikrama for 2.5 hours and then gives a half an hour class in the evening. You can imagine the potency of that class after having chanted more than 3 lakh names. and then does half an hour kirtan. He's a Pakka Gaudiya Vaishnava and completely devoted to the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very respectful to all the saints. There is photo of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. There is photographs of many disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Many of our entire Gaudiya Parampara, Panchatattva offers Aarti to all of them every day. Very nice sadhu. So he said कि आजकल लोगों को people don't have time to put their hand inside the bead bag, but we don't have time to remove our hand outside the bead bag. As we become old, our chanting, our bhajan must increase. Otherwise, we are doing something wrong. If we have been in the movement for 5-6 years and still we are chanting only 16 rounds, that is a very big problem. Really. We have to increase chanting, we have to increase our reading of Srila Prabhupada's books, we have to increase our hearing, and all the material activities that we do, they must reduce, otherwise something is wrong. We are not practicing properly. Prabhupada is saying here. In the transcendental service of Lord Krishna, there is no retirement at all. On the contrary, service attitude increases more and more with the progress of age. In the transcendental service, there is no satiation, and therefore there is no retirement. Are we going to say, okay, now I'm 70 years old, now no more chanting? There is no retirement in bhakti, Prabhupada says. Materially, when a man becomes tired by rendering service in his physical body, he is allowed retirement. There is no feeling of fatigue because it is spiritual service and it is not on the bodily plane. Physical body gets tired, therefore we have to retire from our mundane service. But bhakti is performed on the spiritual plane, on the platform of the soul. And the soul never becomes old. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi applies to the body. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi does not apply to the soul. And bhakti is performed on the spiritual platform. And therefore there is no retirement. Service on the bodily plane dwindles as the body grows old. Everybody agrees? Service on the bodily plane. Mukta Sangha Prabhu, you have the same energy that you had when you were 25 years old? Nahin na? Huh. Service on the bodily plane dwindles as the body grows old. This is natural for everyone. Now I am also having difficulty reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Went and checked my eyesight and I have got reading glasses now. I have to go and buy them. So now almost 44 years old. So the optometrist said, you need reading glasses. Welcome to the club, he told me, the optometrist. So yes, it's a reminder. When our Dashrath Maharaj looked at the mirror and saw his hair graying, he immediately realized, oh, I have to take Vanaprastha now. I must make Ram as the next emperor. So these are all indications that, hair is becoming gray, reading glasses. So we have to really reduce material activities and increase our spiritual activities. Service on the bodily plane dwindles as body grows older. But the spirit soul is never old, and therefore on the spiritual plane, the service is never tiresome. Uddhav undoubtedly became old because Krishna lived for performed his pastimes for 125 years. Now Krishna has disappeared, which Uddhav also has become old now. Uddhav undoubtedly became old, but that does not mean that his spirit became old. Uddhav's service attitude matured on the transcendental plane, and therefore, as soon as Uddhav was questioned by Vidur about Lord Krishna, Uddhav at once remembered Lord Krishna and forgot himself on the physical plane. That is a sign of pure devotional service to Lord Krishna. In this regard, I would like to tell all of you one story. So please listen very carefully. When His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu had come to Atlanta, he gave a class, and out of his humility, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, who is a very advanced Vaishnava, he's a brahmachari for so many decades. I respect him very much. Radha Gopinath Prabhu told his personal experience. Many decades ago in the 1980s, when he joined the ashram, he was a speech therapist, came from Bangalore to Mumbai for a speech therapy conference, never went back. Just came to Radha Gopinath and surrendered to Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So he joined the ashram, and years later, when he was still few years into Krishna consciousness, he saw that famous video of Srila Prabhupada's final moments in this material world, where Srila Prabhupada is lying down on his bed in Krishna Balram Mandir, and Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj is massaging Prabhupada's head. Srila Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj is holding the dictaphone near Srila Prabhupada's lotus mouth, and Srila Prabhupada is dictating his final purports of the 13th chapter of 10th Canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, we should always be in good association. How many of you have seen that video? Yes, you should see. That's the homework. Srila Prabhu. Actually, for many years, I did not see that video because it was too painful to watch. I knew it would be very painful. But then few years ago, I saw some of it. Then I closed it. I didn't want to watch the whole thing. It's very painful to see our Srila Prabhupada in that state. But Srila Prabhupada is still Acharya all the way. On his, for lack of better term, deathbed, also Srila Prabhupada was dictating the Bhaktivedanta purports, instructing till the last moment. So when His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu saw that video, as a medical professional, because he's a speech therapist, he thought, what is the need to dictate purports even on the deathbed? Srila Prabhupada could have just taken it easy, just take your medicine, relax, be on the bed, and what is the need that disciples are around holding dictaphone and somebody's reading the Sanskrit shlokas of the Bhagavatam and somebody's reading the Acharya commentaries in Sanskrit and Prabhupada is giving translation, then Prabhupada is dictating the purport. What is the need of doing all this in the last moments of life? As a medical professional, Radha Gopinath Prabhu used to think. But then he immediately corrected himself. What am I doing? I am judging the Acharya. I am judging a pure devotee. I should not think like this. It is glorious that Srila Prabhupada is doing his seva till the last moment. But then every time he would look at Srila Prabhupada, that thought would come. That why Prabhupada was dictating till the last moment. What is the need? He could have just taken it easy. And then Radha Gopinath Prabhu said that this became like a thorn in my heart. This type of doubt about my Param Gurudev. And he was praying to Srila Prabhupada that Prabhupada, please remove this doubt. Please remove this doubt. Please remove this doubt. Because this dirty thorn is there in my heart that I judged you, that why all this, last moment dictating, and just take it easy. But I thought like that, and I don't think that's a good thought. Prabhupada, please remove this thought from my heart. And then sometimes he would think I should ask my spiritual master to clarify this doubt. But then Radha Gopinath Prabhu thought maybe Maharaj will get angry, he'll chastise me. What kind of doubt you have? So he felt embarrassed to go to Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj also. But then the thorn was in the heart. So how to deal with it? So he was praying to Srila Prabhupada. And one day, suddenly Maharaj called him and said, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, please come to my room. And Radha Gopinath Prabhu went, and Maharaj sat on the floor, and Radha Gopinath Prabhu sat on the floor. And Maharaj said, I want to tell you a story. This is years ago. This is probably in the early 1990s. Journey Home came out in 2007, years later. This is before the Journey Home book was written. Maharaj started telling Radha Gopinath Prabhu about his experiences with Shri Ghanshyam Das Baba in Vrindavan, who used to worship Radha Gopijana Vallabh. And Maharaj was saying how, as a young boy, he came with his family for a vacation to Vrindavan and just fell in love with Vrindavan, never went back. Told his parents, you go, I am staying in Vrindavan, this is my home. lived on the banks of Yamuna, and every day he would write on the bank of Yamuna, Radha, and he would worship that Radha Nam all day on the banks of Yamuna. And at night, he would erase that name so that nobody will step on it and put that Raj in Yamuna and take rest on the banks of Yamuna. Many, many years he did that. And one day when he was writing Radha, something touched his finger. And he excavated a little bit and he found a very beautiful deity of Radharani. And he digged little more and he found a deity of Krishna. And on that deity underneath it was written Radha Gopi Vallabh. Radha Gopi Jan Vallabh. So then he just carried those deities with him everywhere. In due course of time, he got married also. And he and his wife would just serve Radha Gopi Jan Vallabh all their life. They had no money. So one family told them, you can stay in our veranda. And in the veranda, there was a cupboard. You can keep Radha Gopi Jan Vallabh in the cupboard. That is their temple. And both of you can stay there. So they were living like that, worshipping Radha Gopi Jan Vallabh in that cupboard. And many, many decades went by. And then in 1970s, when Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj as Richard, searching for God, he came to Vrindavan. He was living in Barsana with Sri Ramesh Babaji Maharaj. And one day Srila Ramesh Babaji Maharaj told him, if you want to know what is bhakti, you go to Vrindavan and meet this devotee called Ghanshyam Baba. So Maharaj went there and met Ghanshyam Baba, and they had many, many sweet interactions. I don't have time to discuss all those, but many sweet interactions. And then Maharaj came back. Maharaj came to New Vrindavan, was there for 10 years, then preaching in America for a few years. Then Maharaj came back to Bombay and established Radha Gopinath congregation. And then in 1988, Maharaj took his first Vrindavan Yatra. After 1972, 1988, so many years had passed. Then Maharaj went to Vrindavan and Maharaj met Ghanshyam Baba after so many years. And Ghanshyam Baba was super old. He was probably in his 90s. He was almost blind because of cataract. He had arthritis, could barely walk, but still he would take that bucket to Yamuna and fill Yamuna water for bathing Radha Gopi Janwallabh every morning. So Maharaj went and Maharaj took that bucket from Ghanshyam Baba and said, Baba, I will carry this for you. So Ghanshyam Baba was pulling at the, no, 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 I will take, I will take. Maharaj said, no, no, you are very old. Let me help you. I will take. And then Ghanshyam Baba sat down on the ground and started crying. And he said, this is the only service I can do for my Radha Gopi Janwallabh. Please don't take away my service from me. Please don't take away my service from me. And Maharaj said, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to take service. I was trying to assist you in your service. Here, take the bucket of water. So Maharaj is telling this story to Radha Gopinath Prabhu and said, for a devotee, the service to Krishna is most sacred, is most important. It is number one priority. And our Srila Prabhupada was like that. Srila Prabhupada was given the service to translate Srimad Bhagavatam and our Bhakti Shastras into English language and spread that knowledge all over the world by his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So our Prabhupada took that as his service, his life and soul. And Srila Prabhupada was translating. And now Prabhupada could see that my disciples, they can travel, they can preach. My disciples can build temples. My disciples can do Harinam Sankirtan. My disciples can do Bhagavatam classes. My disciples can distribute books. My disciples can manage farm communities. My disciples can do everything that I wanted them to do. But my disciples still cannot translate Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is service that only I can do. And this is a service that my Guru Maharaj gave. And therefore, because this service was so dear to Srila Prabhupada, even on his deathbed, even up to the last moments, Srila Prabhupada was translating, because that was his personal service to his Gurudev. Do you understand, Radha Gopinath Prabhu? And Radha Gopinath said, yes, Maharaj, I understood. He got up and left and he said, thank you, Maharaj, for removing that thorn. Now I understand why Srila Prabhupada, till his last moment, was giving dictations of his Bhakti Vedanta purports. This is what Prabhupada is saying here. That The body may become old, but the service attitude of a devotee never slackens. So many examples are there. Haridas Thakur Mahasaya, Srila Haridas Thakur. He is so old, but he wants to complete his Sankhya of 3 lakh names. Mahaprabhu says, what happened? You have not eaten? Is your health not good? Yes, my health is not good. What is wrong? No, body is okay. But spiritually I am ill because I have not completed my Sankhya. Haridas Thakur in old age. Srila Prabhupada was like that. Very old physically, but his service attitude kept on increasing. So we should judge ourselves also by how intense we are in our Krishna consciousness as the years go by. We should never slacken and never think that there is retirement in Krishna consciousness or semi-retirement in Krishna consciousness. बहुत कर लिया, बहुत क्लासेस दे दिए, बहुत संडे फीस्ट अटेंड किए, बहुत डोनेशन दे दिया, बहुत चैंटिंग कर लिया, अभी बस 16 राउंड्स एंड आई वांट टू टेक इट इजी लिटिल बिट, थोड़ा टीवी, थोड़ा मूवीज. No, we should never think like that. Anand Vrindavan Prabhu was saying in one class that he helped a devotee financial planning, retirement planning, and the devotee was able to retire at 50 with enough funds to live a comfortable life. But instead of increasing bhajan, that devotee was using all the money that was coming and all the money that was saved for bucket list. Oh, I have never went to Switzerland. So now let's go to Switzerland. New Zealand देखा नहीं है. Let's go to New Zealand. कभी cruise पे नहीं गए. Let's go on a cruise to the Bahamas. So Anand Prabhu said that this is very disappointing. That's not why we retire. We don't retire to gratify our senses and enjoy. We retire to come closer to Krishna, to become more intense in our bhajan. So this is a very, very important purport, my dear friends. Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya, Prabhupada quotes at the end of this purport, as mentioned by Lord Kapil Dev in conversation with his mother Devahuti. That Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya, this is the sign of pure devotional service. What? That as soon as service opportunity is given, devotee becomes very, very excited and enthusiastic. Utsaha Nischaya Dhairya. Text 4. Samuhurtam abhut tushnim krishnangri sudhaya brisham tivrena bhakti yogena nimagna sadhu nirvritaha. After being questioned about Krishna, Shri Uddhav for a moment remained dead silent, and his body did not move. He became stambit. He did not move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering Lord Krishna's lotus feet and devotional ecstasy. Krishnangri Sudhaya Brisham. Sudhaya means nectar. Sudha means nectar, Amrit. Krishnangri means Krishna's lotus feet. And he was just remembering. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Nimagna, completely absorbed. Sadhu Nirvrita, with fully absorbed in love, he was remembering Krishna, his lotus feet, and he appeared to be going increasingly deeper and deeper and deeper into devotional ecstasy. What a beautiful verse and what a beautiful translation by Srila Prabhupada. Couple of sentences down into the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Uddhavji remembered all his transcendental loving service unto Lord Krishna, and by so doing, he felt the same ecstasy that he used to feel in the presence of Lord Krishna, which means the remembrance of Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna in person, non-different. Everything about Krishna is absolute. Krishna's name is non-different. Abhinatva nama namina. And remembering Krishna is also non-different. Then further down, Srila Prabhupada says there are 8 kinds of transcendental changes that happen in the body. Ashtha, Satvik, Vikara. Vikara means changes. Ashtha means 8 and Satvik means they are transcendental. Transcendental. They are called Ashru, Swed, Vepatu or Kampa. Swarabhed or Vani becomes Gadgad. Stamba, Stambit, you become stunned. Vaivarna, the color changes. Romanch, a hair stands on end. Pulaka Sharira. And Pralay, complete devastation. The devotee just loses consciousness, falls down. Ashru is tears, Swed is perspiration. Vepatu is trembling in the body. Romanchakampa Shrutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. So there are the 8 symptoms of ecstasy: Ashru, Sweda, Vepatu, Swarabhed, Stamba, Vayavarna, Romancha, and Pralay. 8 symptoms of ecstasy. And Uddhav manifested all of them. Prabhupada says all were manifested by Uddhav in the presence of Vidurji. Text 5. Pulakodbhinna sarvango munchan miladrisha shuchaha purnartho lakshitastena sneha prasara samplutaha. It was so observed by Vidur that Uddhav had all the transcendental bodily changes due to total ecstasy, and he was trying to wipe away tears of separation from Krishna. He was trying to wipe away tears from his eyes. This Vidur could understand. Thus, Vidur could understand that Sri Uddhav had completely assimilated extensive love for Lord Krishna. Vidur would understand. This is a Premi Bhakta. This is a Premi Bhakta. He is in ecstasy. In the second sentence of the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, ecstatic bodily changes are manifested from the spiritual plane and are not artificial expressions developed by practice. Actors don't. This is not acting. Now, sometimes we may read some emotional section of the Shastra or hear a very emotional class or hear a kirtan that may make us very emotional and tears may come in our eyes. That is happening from the mundane plane because we are not so pure yet. We can hear some tragic story and those same tears will come. We'll watch some tragic movie and those same tears will come. So we should not think that I have become like Uddhav. Prabhupada will explain in this purport what is ecstasy, what tears are coming from the mental plane, emotional plane, and what tears are coming from the spiritual plane. There is a huge difference. The first stage, there are different stages, 3 different stages of development in devotional service. I want all of you to note this down. Prabhupada says in the purport, there are 3 different stages of development in bhakti, devotional service. The first stage is that of following the regulative principles prescribed in the codes of devotional service. That's the stage that we are on, sadhana bhakti. Then there is bhava bhakti, second stage, where there is assimilation and realization of the steady condition of devotional service, where we understand our sthai bhava. Steady condition of devotional service means sthai bhava. What is my relation? Am I in madhurya rati? Am I in sakharati? Am I in vatsalya prem? What is our sthai bhava? That a sadhak comes to know in the heart. Doesn't share it with anybody ever, but that comes in the heart as we become purer and purer. When we assimilate and we realize bhakti, we go beyond the stage of Vaidhi bhakti, we go to the stage of Raganuga bhakti, then that understanding comes in the heart. That's the second stage. And the last stage is that of ecstasy, symptomized by transcendental bodily expression. And then in the final stage, the stage of prem. So there is sadhana bhakti, there is bhava bhakti, and there is prema bhakti. In the stage of prema bhakti, the real ecstatic symptoms manifest. So if we have not gone through those stages and tears are coming, we should know that they are coming from the emotional platform. It is good that they are coming. It's a good beginning, but we should hide them. We should not show them, because then pride will come that I am very advanced and now everybody will think I am very advanced. So we have to be very careful about that. Sometimes it may not be possible. It may just happen. But we should understand that it is still coming from the emotional platform. It is not coming from the spiritual platform. First stage is Vaidhi Bhakti, where we follow rules and regulations nicely. We become good sadhakas. We don't miss our Brahma Murta Japa ever. We don't miss our Gayatri. We don't miss Ekadashi. We don't waste time. We don't watch anything mundane. We don't commit Vaishnava Aparadh. This is the stage of regulate bhakti, sadhana bhakti. Then there comes the stage of Raganuga Bhakti, where we get Bhava Bhakti. And finally, there is Prema Bhakti. In the stage of Prema Bhakti, these 8 ecstatic symptoms manifest, Srila Prabhupada says. It is symptomatized by transcendental bodily expression. And to get there, we have to follow the ninefold devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. Because Mahaprabhu says, Bhajaner Madhya Shreshta, Navavida Bhakti, Krishna Prem, Krishna Dite, Dhare Mahashakti. We will get the Prema Bhakti, we will get Krishna Prem by following the Navavida Bhakti. Regularly chanting, regularly hearing. The heart becomes purified, Prabhupada said, becomes cleansed of impurities. Chetudarpana Marjanam happens. Then we make advancement and we come to that stage of Bhava Bhakti, then Prema Bhakti. In Prema Bhakti, all the ecstatic symptoms will manifest. Text 6. Shanakair Bhagvallokan Trilokam Punaragataha Vimrijya Netre Viduram Pritya Uddhava Utsmayan. The great devotee Uddhav soon came back from the abode of Lord Krishna to the human plane. From the spiritual plane, he came back to the human plane after being questioned by Vidurji. And wiping his tears, he awakened his reminiscence of the past and spoke to Vidur in a pleasing mood. He came back to his external consciousness. Second sentence of the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the pure devotee lives constantly in the abode of the Supreme Lord Krishna, even in the present body, which apparently belongs to this material world. The body of a pure devotee belongs to this material world, but the devotee, even in this material body, lives in the spiritual world. The smaranam, the chintan, the meditation, absorption is in Krishna. Krishna Leela, Krishna Nam. So the devotee always remains on the spiritual platform, even though the body is material world. The pure devotee is not exactly on the bodily plane since he is absorbed in the transcendental thought of the Supreme Lord Krishna. When Uddhav wanted to speak to Vidur, he came down from the abode of Lord Dwarka because he is in the Dwarka mood. He is a Dwarka devotee. So he came down from the eternal Dwarka Dham to the material plane of human beings. Even though pure devotee is present on this mortal planet, he is here in relationship to the Lord for engagement in transcendental loving service and not for any material cause, which means a pure devotee may be in this material world, but the devotee is here for Krishna's purpose. He is not here for some personal interest. He is here to do Krishna's work, the pure devotee. This we must understand. Text 7. Now Uddhava is going to respond to Vidurji. Uddhava Uvacha Krishna Dyumani Nimloche Girnesh Ajagagrena Kim Nuna Kushalam Bruyam Kata Shrishu Grihesh Aham. Shri Uddhav said, my dear Vidurji, the son of the world, Krishna Dyumani, the son called Krishna, Lord Krishna, who was the son of the world. Sun means S-U-N. Surya has set, and our house has now been swallowed by the great snake of time. Ajgarena. What can I say about our welfare? What can I say about our welfare? When Krishna Dyumani Nimloche. Nimloche means has set. When the sun of Krishna has set, everything has become dark. What can I say about welfare? There is no question of welfare. There is no question of welfare. Uddhav was asked to speak about Krishna, and Uddhav starts speaking. The first word he says Krishna. In the purport, in the second sentence, Srila Prabhupada says, Vidur was struck with great sorrow when he got the hint of the annihilation of the great Yadu dynasty, as well as his own dynasty, the Kuru dynasty. Vidur was heartbroken because he got a hint, he understood something is not right. I think Krishna has departed. I think the whole Yadu dynasty has gone. and many of the Kauravas are also dead. So Vidur was struck with great sorrow. Uddhav could understand the grief of Vidur, and therefore he first of all wanted to sympathize with him by saying that after sunset, everyone is in darkness. Since the entire world was merged in the darkness of grief, neither Vidur nor Uddhav nor anyone else could be happy. So this is sensitivity, my dear friends. Vidur was grief-stricken, knowing that so many of his friends and relatives had died, and Uddhav, therefore, in the beginning, sympathized with him. This is very important, my dear friends. Once during COVID, one devotee's loved one died, and everybody in the community knew that this devotee's relative has died, very close relative has died. And as soon as that news came, few messages were Hare Krishna, praying for the departed soul, praying for the departed soul. And then nothing. Immediately within minutes, there are forwards, people are uploading flyers of their upcoming classes and sharing video clips and everything on the group. It was business as usual. So this devotee was telling me that devotee felt very hurt by the insensitivity. And this was the group they were closest to. So lesson is we have to be sensitive. If someone is grieving, yes, Hari Katha, Hari Kirtan has always to go on, but it should be done after sympathizing, after properly consoling. Or one can dedicate that Hari Katha for the departed soul, isn't it? So this sensitivity is very, very important. First, we should sympathize. Next paragraph. Srila Prabhupada writes, the comparison of Krishna to the sun, Krishna Dyumani, is very appropriate. Now please listen carefully how this comparison of Krishna to the sun is very appropriate. As soon as the sun sets, darkness automatically appears. But the darkness experienced by common man does not affect the sun itself. So the sun has set. Right now in Atlanta, it is very dark because the sun has set. It has become very dark in Atlanta. But does that mean that the sun has also become dark? Our Janani Mataji is smiling because it is day for her. It is day for her. It's morning. For us, it is night. So Atlanta is dark, but that doesn't mean Mangalore is dark. Or is it? Maybe, no, the sun has risen already. Yeah, I can see Satyarama Mataji. There's light coming from the window. So sun is always bright. We become dark, we become bright, we become dark, we become bright. Sun is always bright. There is no night for sun. So Krishna appearing, Krishna disappearing on the earth planet is for us, but Krishna is eternal. Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance are exactly like that of the sun. He appears and disappears in innumerable universes, and as long as he is present in a particular universe, there is all transcendental light in that universe. But the universe from which he moves on to the next universe, that universe is put into darkness because of Krishna's absence. Krishna's pastimes, however, are everlasting, Nitya Leela, always going on, some universe or the other. The Lord is always present in some universe, just as the sun is present in either the eastern hemisphere or western hemisphere. Now in India, it will become night. It will be day for us. It keeps on happening like that. The sun is always present either in India or in America. But when the sun is present in India, the American land is in darkness. And when the sun is present in America, the Indian hemisphere is in darkness. As the sun appears in the morning and gradually rises to the meridian and then again sets in one hemisphere while simultaneously rising in the other hemisphere, so also Lord Krishna's disappearance in one universe and the beginning of his different pastimes in another universe take place simultaneously. Krishna goes from one universe to the other. And thus, as soon as one pastime is finished here, it is manifested in another universe. And thus his Nitya Leela or eternal pastimes are going on without ending. Hare Krishna. Now this Nitya Leela is of two types. There is Prakat Leela and Aprakat Leela. Prakat Leela means what gets manifested in the material world. But then there is another Nitya Leela going on, and that is the Aprakat Leela in the spiritual world in Vaikuntha. Last paragraph. As at sunset, the snake becomes powerful, thieves are encouraged, ghosts become active, and the lotus becomes disfigured. And the Chakravaki laments. So, with the disappearance of Lord Krishna, the atheists feel enlivened and the devotees become sorry. When Krishna is present, devotees are very happy. When Krishna disappears, devotees become sad. When Krishna is present, the atheists are in trouble. When Krishna disappears, the atheists become strong. This is the nature of the material world. Okay, so it is 9:30. We'll stop here and we'll continue from verse number 8. Krishna willing, on USA time Tuesday and India time Wednesday morning. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Yes, Darshana Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Tanvat Pranams. Prabhuji, I just wanted to know the purpose. It was mentioned that in the Bhav stage, one gets to know their service to Lord Krishna, right? So I just wanted to know, like Bharat Maharaj, for Bharat Maharaj, his service and his relationship with the Lord was revealed to him and then he fell down.
Bharat Maharaj, he was very advanced, but see, even the Bhav stage has got a spectrum. It has got a spectrum. And it appears that Bharat Maharaj had not yet had a darshan of Krishna. He had not yet become self-realized. But he was very advanced. He was having some preliminary experience of Bhav. And in the preliminary experience of Bhav also, one may have shedding of tears, one may have our hair standing on end. But in the stage of Prema Bhakti, all these Ashtasattvic Vikar, they become fully manifest. When Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj went into ecstasy for several months in 1979, and Srila Prabhupada's dear godbrother, Srila Kinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj was called to examine him. He examined Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj and said, he has just transitioned from the stage of Bhav to Prem. And he even manifested Vaivarana, where even his color changed. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. That Lagudi Prabhu recalls. So like that. So Bhav also has a spectrum. It's not just one fixed stage with fixed symptoms. It's a spectrum. It's a in the trajectory of the devotee. So Bhav is a phase. So that phase has different sub phases. And one may come to know one's Sthai Bhav at some point in the stage of Bhav Bhakti. But it appears that Bharat Maharaj had not reached that stage. Generally, when one becomes self-realized, one cannot fall down. But before that, one can fall down. But after becoming self-realized, one cannot fall down. It's not possible. Okay? Okay. Geeta Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Connecting to this statement, Prabhuji, that you said just now, that's unless and until one is self-realized. So, Prabhuji, my question was related to that. That is, this Sukshma Sharir is the cause of our next birth, and that is the reason we are not self-realized. Because Sukshma Sharir is what subtle body is, what the combination of Man, Buddhi, and Ahankar. So, by continuous devotional practice or by devotee association, we can surrender our Man and Buddhi. But how is this Ahankar works, Prabhuji? How it generates and how it stops us, restricts us from progressing in devotional path, on devotional path?
Ahankar means I am this material body. And as long as we have that conception that I am this material body, Janasya mohoyam aham mameti, then we want to enjoy with this body and we want those people, those things connected to this body also to be with us for enjoyment, for pleasure. It could be our car, it could be our wife, it could be our children, it could be our house, it could be our clothes, me and mine. So that is the ahankar. As long as the ahankar is there, one cannot approach Krishna. This ahankar goes away when we become situated in the true ego. This is called false ego. Ahankar means false ego. But when we become situated in our true ego, that I am Krishna Das, Jivara Swarup hai Krishna Nitya Das, I am Krishna Das, then this false ego starts becoming weak and the true ego starts becoming stronger and stronger. And by the process of bhajan kriya, by the process of Guru Kripa and Sadhu Kripa, when the true ahankar becomes more and more purified and stronger, then from the stage of sadharan sadharan sambandha jnana, we go to the stage of vishesh sambandha jnana. Sadharan sambandha jnana means I am a servant of Krishna, the true ahankar. But then exactly who am I? What is my name? What is my seva? What is my relationship with Radha and Krishna? All those Ekadash Bhav, 11 aspects of our Siddha Swarup, they become known to us by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. And then we are situated in our true ego completely. And from that stage, one cannot fall down. And the process for that is same bhajan kriya and mercy of Guru. Then it is revealed eventually. Is that okay, Geeta Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. I have one more question. So this can be achieved only through bhakti, because there are other ways like dhyana yoga, who does meditation or who activates their chakras and all. So they can stabilize their mind at certain point, but can they surrender, or still there are chances of ego, right, Prabhuji?
It is only bhaktya pananya shakya aham evam vidhorjuna. Krishna can be fully understood according to the capacity of the jiva only through bhakti, not by any other process of dhyan, karma, gyan, not possible. We have to practice anukulena Krishna anushilanam bhakti ruttama. Only through that process is Krishna pleased. And Krishna reveals himself. And the subtle body is made up of the mind, intelligence, and false ego. And the way to purify the subtle body is to engage the mind in thinking of Krishna, engaging the intelligence in devising creative ways to serve Krishna, and engaging the ahankar in true ahankar, that I am Das, Das, and Das. In this way, the subtle body becomes purified. And this subtle body can be purified truly only by Bhakti Yoga. Like you said, through yam, niyam, pranayam, asan, dharana, one can, or the chakras, meditating on the chakras, raising the chakras, one can become peaceful, one can become very self-controlled, one can attain to a certain extent peace and happiness, but one cannot capture Krishna. One cannot capture Krishna. Krishna is durlabh through these processes. But he is very, very easily tasyaham sulabha partha. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am very sulabh to one who ananya cheta manasa, one who ananyata, with undeviated mind, thinks of me. Yogi namapi sarvesham mad gatena antaratma. Shraddhavan bhajate yoma. Bhajata means bhakti. So, tema yuktattama mata. So like that. So only by Bhakti Yoga we can please Krishna. Only by Bhakti Yoga Krishna is revealed, and by no other process.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so there are no more questions. We'll stop here. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam.